All right. Good evening and welcome to this session. Thank you for 100 plus viewers, those who have attended live and also viewed after that. So in some area like Srikakulam and there, I got the messages. It was raining heavy, so we could not attend live, sir, but later on we have seen. And thank you so much. It is useful and beneficial for us. That's what the feedback I have got. Thank you so much for the feedback. So in view of that, we'll be going ahead. And before that, those of you are just joining today, and if you haven't attended yesterday, day before day, and my strong recommendation is please do go through the previous 2 days videos, and once again if you want today's also, so that what happens, you will be up to date and you will be following in a continual manner. All right, as I made a mention yesterday, once again I would like to make it very clear, like if you attend regularly these classes and 100 plus, you will be able to score, which is neither a guarantee nor a warranty, but definitely yes. That's how we are going to ensure this particular classes as such. All right. So Mehzabin, welcome. Good evening. I got the message. That's great, Mehzin. Keep it up. The good spirit. You are there consecutively the last 3 days and you are not missing anything. And still you wish to listen once again. They are available on my YouTube channel. You can listen to. All right. Yeah, by the time others join, let me tell a few general things which are required in the process of your seated journey. One such important thing is today being the 3rd November 2021. I'm sure all seated aspirants are aware about this date's importance in the history of December 2021 seated. Yes, any guesses? Yes. Okay, that's right. Yeah, it is last date to make any corrections in your CTET 2021 form. So if you have applied but certain things, paper 1, paper 2, language, first option of the center of the 4, only first option you can edit, rest all is not permitted. Otherwise almost everything was permitted to modify, on which I have made a video about half an hour and which is available on my YouTube channel. If you want any support or help in that aspect, please do go through and do the needful, because that is an opportunity given which expires today itself. And especially there with regard to image, remove image discrepancy is also an option given, but which is not for everyone. If your photo or signature is found to be not suitable, not sufficient, not appropriate as prescribed by CBSE in their CTET 2021 December notification, in that case they are sending this message, either SMS message to your mobile which you have given at the time of your applying, or email message, sometimes both will come. In that case only you have to do that. Otherwise, as it is already printed on your confirmation page, and you are good to hold on and continue with your preparation. All right. So once again, let me remind you, if you have made some corrections, you have to submit final submission, and then the confirmation page, once again revised confirmation page you will get by print. So keep that page for future correspondence until you get your admit card. All right. Bhavani, good evening and welcome to the session. All right. Okay. So if you have joined, because I could not see all messages, just send a message So that shows you are all here and you have joined, and we are good to go ahead. All right. Before I formally start CDP, Child Development and Pedagogy, for last 2 days I have been giving a brief outline introduction in view of overall seated preparation with special reference to CDP, Child Development and Pedagogy, the psychological topics part of it, the inclusive education second unit of it, and the third, the pedagogy, the general teaching aptitude, classroom management kind of aspects as a part of psychological point of view and pedagogical point of view as such. The combination, the third topic of your CDP is a combination of psychology and pedagogy, neither pure psychology nor pure methodology pedagogy, rather a combination of it, which can be called as classroom management, effective classroom management, or teaching aptitude, or teachers efficiency testing items. All right, so that's how I prefer to call that. Right, I could see R. Suvarna, Ramagiri Suvarna. Welcome, Suvarna. I recognize you as your friend Shantini, as recommended you strongly, I know. So she has been talking about your interest and your commitment as well. So welcome to this session and this particular free guidance program for CTET 2021 December. So as your friend, with little guidance from my side, could clear both NET and CTET, I could see your future prospect. All the best. And yes, we will formally go ahead with the CDP today. Before that, any of those who are live have any questions, just type in. I wish I will address for another couple of minutes, no issue, because within the scope of this CTET exam, I'll address. If there are general things, yesterday I also got some 1 or 2 queries for which I have sent that message. If they are general exam preparation, last minute tips, tricks, anyway, contextual, I'll be saying something. And the last 5 days I said, yes, what are we going to do? Yes, PYQs, discussion on that, preparation for exam, and last minute things. Those things there also I'll take. Otherwise, here and there, whenever the topic comes, context comes, I'm going to give you. All right. Yes. Vinay Krishna, good evening. Okay. So now let us start with what? I would like to just start with model questions. What type of questions can be asked? Already I told you paper 1, paper 2, CDP, Child Development Pedagogy syllabus is same in toto. The only fundamental difference is primary, that is 1st to 5th class student, 6 to 11 years age group related is the focus of paper 1, whereas teenagers, that is your 6th to 8th or high school for that matter, children's focus is the scope of your paper 2. So from this point of view, what happens? The questions varies paper 1 and paper 2. So what your CTET 2021 December notification talks about that. It has made a mention in the syllabus in similar manner, and also they have given some exemplar questions. Some questions which are called exemplar questions. All right. Now I'll take you there. Those of you have already seen on the website, that's good. You are going to revisit with how to understand, how to read those questions and understand, so that helps you in your preparation. I'm sure you are all able to see this particular my screen. All right, exemplar items for CTET December 2021. Yes, this is what I am talking about, which is uploaded on your CTET official website, which talks about what type of questions in paper 1, paper 2 be asked. As of now, only your general paper, that is CDP, language, and then content and pedagogy was kept. Language questions are going to be uploaded shortly. After that, we will discuss them as well. For now, what do we do? Let's go ahead with paper 1, part 1, Child Development and Pedagogy, CDP. What sort of questions will be asked? How to approach them? How to answer them? how to understand them is a brief discussion for a few minutes I would like to take on so that we will have a good beginning. All right, let's start with the question number 1. Question number 1. During a task, Samia is talking to herself about ways she can proceed on the task. According to Lev Vygotsky's ideas on language and thought, this kind of private speech is a sign of dash. Option A, cognitive maturity. Option B, self-regulation. Option C, egocentrism. Option D, psychological disorder. Now, sir, anyway, answer is visible. Don't worry. It's not the question of whether you got the right answer or wrong answer. That is the ultimate goal in examination, to get the right answer. At this stage of your preparation, what you need to look at is, even if you find like this somewhere, you need to look at why this is the right answer, why not the others. If you can say why these 3 are not the right answers, why this is the better answer, best answer of these 4, you are well prepared to answer similar questions. Now here, how you need to think a bit beyond, not just the right answer part of it. Even when you prepare from your material, whatever the book you are following, or the model questions you solve, or the PYQs, previous year's question papers you solve, this is how your approach from now it should be. So what is this? If you know Lev Vygotsky's language and thought and a private speech, fine, perfect. Self-regulation. This is what I'm talking in the first round, your answer. Yesterday I was saying the 3 rounds are the 3 levels of attempting your question paper. You have read about the language and thought as given by Vygotsky, and you are familiar with the private speech. That's what the self-regulation, its intention is. Straight away, fine. Read this question, read the 4 alternatives and answer this. No issue. Suppose, assume that for some reason you read but you don't remember. Then mark it for review. Don't finalize your answer. Go, and when you come back second round, what to do the second round? Okay. Second round, here you could see option A, cognitive maturity, option B, self-regulation, option C, egocentrism, option D, psychological disorder. When you come back second round, you need not read the whole question. You have an idea, but read all the 4 alternatives. What you can say, which is the right answer, you may not know, but one wrong answer readily you can identify here, right? What is that wrong answer which you can readily identify? It is psychological disorder. A child talking herself or himself is not a psychological disorder. You tend to see children many times talking, no, so what to do? Yeah, today it didn't work, and I'm yes, I'm going to work. Like this, children engage in a self-talk, which is not a psychological disorder. So you can rule out this. D is not the answer. Okay. Similarly, cognitive immaturity. Either Vygotsky or your Piaget, different stages of maturity. Cognitive maturity they spoke about, but they did not talk about cognitive maturity, or this doesn't show cognitive maturity. So you can rule out A also. Now, right answer should be between these 2, self-regulation and egocentrism. By this exercise, what happened? You have come your chance of getting right answer to 50-50%. Now, at that stage, definitely, given our classes or your own preparation, your B.Ed or D.Ed understanding, egocentrism, immediately you recollect Piaget, where child thinks his own centered. I want this, I want that. Things of and people of mine are better, good, this kind of thought. So that's not, he said self-talk, private speech, but did not say what is that he is talking. So it cannot be qualified as egocentrism. If you have that idea, well and good, and then rule out this and you are there. If you don't have either, at least between B and C, if you choose, then it's going to be a 50% advantage in your favor. All right. Okay, so we have Nishat Ahmed also joined. Welcome, Nishat. All right. Let's go ahead. Now question number 2. A child argues that no person should steal a drug from chemist shop even if it is to save a human life, because he or she will be caught and sent to jail if he or she does so. According to Kohlberg, which stage of moral understanding does the child fall under? If you can recollect that Henge dilemma, if you have heard about it, studied about it, it's good. Straight away you can go and answer this. Otherwise, just let us try. Suppose you read it but you don't remember, or you don't exactly remember what he is talking about. It's not a direct question. Henge dilemma belongs to the following. He did not say. So therefore, let us see. Instrumental purpose orientation, social order maintaining orientation, punishment and obedience orientation, universal ethical principle orientation. At least after reading these 4 alternates, I'm sure you will recall, oh, he is talking about Kohlberg's moral development, and one is universal. So this kind of, because police will catch you, punishment will be there, definitely it is not a part of universal ethical principles, which is post-conventional in 3 stages: pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional. So definitely D is not the answer. In 6th stage, that is the 6th one, D. In 3 stages, it's the 3rd stage, where it is not the punishment, it is not the personal benefit, it is not the approval of your peer group, parents, teachers. So therefore, D is not the right answer. Then instrumental purpose orientation, don't remember, don't relate to your past learned things. So hold on it like that. Social order maintaining orientation. Did you see anything in the social order maintaining? I should follow the customs, traditions of the society. I should give and take the respect. That kind of things are not there. I should follow because it is in the culture, tradition, value system of my family, my community. It is not there. Social order also ruled out. And then it is punishment. And if you can identify directly, because it says, according here, it says, because he or she will be caught and sent to jail. Caught and sent to jail. The keyword gives you punishment and obedience orientation. Could identify, well and good. Otherwise, at least rule out these 2, and still between instrumental purpose orientation and punishment and obedience orientation, any B.Ed or D.Ed student who has seriously prepared for your TET exam, definitely, I'm sure, will go with C, definitely not with A. So you are there. That's the reason C is the best option. All right, great. Let's go ahead with the next question. Question number 3. Which one of the following questions invites children to engage in critical thinking? Option A, do you know the answer to this? Option B, what is the right answer for this question? Option C, is the concept clear to you all? Option D, what are the different ways to solve this? Now see, why D is the right answer? Why A, B, C is not the right answer or the better answers? If you are able to answer this or any similar questions like this, you will be able to answer in the exam. Otherwise, if only this question comes, you will answer, otherwise you don't. That never happens, by the way. That never happens. Same model questions, same previous questions. Not many, a few probably here and there may be repeated, which is under 5 to 10%. So therefore, the idea of solving previous year's questions or the model questions is not with an expectation that they are going to come in exam. Let that be 100 series, 500 series, 1000 series. Please note that. Particularly from these books, which are the leading books. Let that be your Arihant series, let that be your Disha, let that be your Pearson, or let that be Gupta, another book. Yesterday when I have reviewed my old books, I have come across Gupta is also with me. That's also one of the leading in the market. So therefore, the idea is, yes, to understand why this answer is most apt correct than the others, or why others are not the right answers. This is the right answer. Yes, any guesses? Just type in before I explain that. Sir, slide is not clear. Sumit sir. Okay. Yeah. If some of you are viewing in your mobile, please turn your mobile horizontal. At least it will be a little larger, or later on you have an access to computer. But otherwise, from my end, it's quite good enough. If I want to increase, I can, but only thing is some portion of it is like this will be cut. So I'll be rotating here and there like this for that purpose. Okay. Anyway, I just have increased as much. I can do that. Okay. Now let's see this third. Which one of the following questions invites children to engage in critical thinking? Option A, do you know the answer to this? Here also child may think critically, but this is not the right answer. Why? Do you know answer to this question? Child may say yes or no. Simple, one word answer. Or if he knows the answer also, he recollect. Recall, recognition, the knowledge-based question. Therefore, it doesn't really engage the child in critical thinking. This is the key word you should look from. Therefore, A is not the right answer. B, what is the right answer for this question? When you say right answer, it is the convergent thinking. Straight answer to the question. Logical, rather straight, well established, well known. In a way, it is also, again, a bit of knowledge or a bit of convergent thinking. So therefore, not really engaging critical thinking. Engage in critical thinking, not just critical thinking. Continues. All right. Is the concept clear to you all? Again, same yes or no answer type. Yes, sir, clear. No, sir, it's not clear. Where is the question of engage in critical thinking? Now look at the D option. What are the different ways to solve this? What are the different ways to solve this? Now what to do? Engage in, oh, this way it can be solved. Oh, in book it is given like this. In daily life I have seen like this. Other day my friend was telling this way also it can be solved. Yes. Then the children tend to engage in critical thinking. So therefore, D is the best answer here. All right. Okay, let's go ahead with the next question. Question number 4. Which of the following statements about intelligence is correct? Option A, intelligence is the ability to think in a convergent manner. Option B, intelligence is a relatively permanent change in behavior as a result of experience. Option C, intelligence is the ability that helps in predicting how good a person would be in a particular profession. And option D, of course, which is the right answer. Before we see that, now let's see why this ABC is not the right answers. What is D, how it is the right answer. All right. Okay. Now look here. Somebody confirm me, is that clear? Readable slide? Yeah. Question number 4. Which of the following statements about intelligence is correct? Now answer 1 says, intelligence is the ability to think in a convergent manner. Yes. What is the ability to think in a convergent manner? It is a convergent thinking. Yeah, one type of intelligence. So straight away we can't say this is not the right answer. For your kind information, this is also one of the answers. Acceptable answers, right answer also. That's the beauty, and that is the tricky. That's where the CDP becomes critical, which is a bit different from your content. In your content of the 4, only one right answer will be there. But in pedagogy and CDP, there can be more than one right answer. Sir, how if it is more than one right answer? Please note that he asks you to identify most correct answer, not just correct answer. That's the reason C. By the end of this, I hope you will get more clarity. Still, for this question, if D I modify, A also can become an answer. All right. But look at B option. Yes. B says yes. Thank you, Swapnika. She clarifies that yes, it is clear. Let's go ahead. B, intelligence is a relatively permanent change in behavior as a result of experience. By the time you read this sentence, you must be recollecting something. Those of you have read your learning chapter in either DEd, B.Ed or as a part of your CTET preparation, definitely you will be able to recollect immediate you read this. What is this? Relatively permanent change in behavior as a result of experience. Overall definition of your learning. It is learning. All right. Question says, which of the following statements about intelligence is correct? He is asking about intelligence, but the description given is about learning. So this you can, with some preparedness, you can say, yeah, B is not the right answer. Go to C. Intelligence is the ability that helps in predicting how good a person would be in a particular profession. In a particular profession. Now, by the time you read this statement, you must be recollecting what? This is indirectly a concept and definition of what is that? Aptitude. In a given course or a profession, to what extent one can achieve good results, become good person, get better results is aptitude. So therefore, this is not the correct about intelligence. So B and C you can rule out, but A, C, if you recollect your Terman, Stern and those definitions, intelligence is the ability to think in a convergent manner. Yes, it is. But see the beauty. A, if you look up to these three, D is none of the above. In fact, A should become the answer. But see the beauty. When you go to D, intelligence is multidimensional, involving several abilities, not entirely measurable intelligence tests. Not entirely measurable intelligence tests. Now D becomes the right answer. Sir, in almost any book you read, intelligence, first few definitions, first or second, convergent thinking, problem solving, adaptability. These are the three popular definitions in almost all standard books, materials, coaching, institutions, online classes. Of course, it's right also. But yes, A and D are right answers, but the D is the best answer, most appropriate answer, and D only the acceptable answer when you compare A and D. Why? A is also concept of intelligence, but the good old concept of intelligence, traditional concept of intelligence, and D is your multidimensional, latest, modern, now acceptable definition of intelligence. Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory indirectly is asking a question. Who gave the 7 types of intelligence? Everybody writes answer. 8 types of intelligence. Everybody writes answer. But now indirectly, he is asking your understanding, conceptual based question related to Gardner's theory, concept of multiple intelligence. So therefore, this becomes the right answer. All right. Yes, let's go ahead. All right. Question number 5. Okay. Repeatedly asking children to engage in learning activities, either to avoid punishment or to gain reward. Suppose if you ask children to engage in learning activities, purpose to avoid punishment or gain reward. As a teacher, you are saying, if you read only, I am going to appreciate you. I am going to accept your assignment. Or otherwise, I am going to give you the punishment. Then, or as a parent. It could be either as a teacher or as a parent. But in absence of specially mentioning parent name, This is one important thing you need to know. He is asking about teacher. Without anybody's mentioned, all relatable questions are, he is asking about teacher. That is one basic assumption you keep. Sometimes, rarely it may not applicable. I understand that. But to make your job is, I'm just giving a hint. All right. Option A, decreases extrinsic motivation. And here he is trying to give extrinsic motivation. It is not decreases extrinsic motivation, right? Motivation from the teacher. So A is not the right answer. You can readily identify. B, increases intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic is from the child within. Where is the question when the teacher is nagging or behind? It increasing intrinsic motivation, no question. B is also you can rule out. Then C, would encourage children to acquire knowledge and skills for their own development. This is a misconception, for which reason both teachers and parents are nagging, are behind, or off the record, I may use, in some cases, torturing the children to learn. I'm not blaming any teacher or parent. Please don't misunderstand me. In the name of your own interest, child's own interest, learner's own interest, when you are behind them unreasonably, particularly pressing on the punishment, at times repeatedly conditional rewards, decreases children's natural interest and curiosity involved in learning. That's the reason at a times our children are coming, I don't want this study. Is there any chance I can escape school? Interestingly, I was asking my daughter the other day around, okay, so it seems they are going to open your offline classes for a long day, time you have been looking forward that. I said, no, Papa, it could be better if it is prolonged for some more days. All right. So why it happened? This is the reason. This is unreasonable. I'm not saying parents should not do that, teachers should not do that. Unreasonably doing it, repeatedly doing it, as if that is the only one way how you can encourage the child to learn. That's what I'm talking, by the way. I'll talk about this after your exams. We'll have a continued session, how you can become an effective teacher, effective parent. My purpose of offering you the guidance is not just limited to CTET. Please note that. If that is the case, already you have n number of channels, books, materials. But of course, if I have to reach you a better program to offer, I should give you first what you want. All right. So I'll tell you at the end of these sessions what exactly I have a program to offer, which is far, far better, valuable, more worth than this. Take this as my word for granted. You will realize. I'm confident on that. Okay. All right. Now, therefore, this is D is the right answer, obviously. Okay. Then question number 6. Now, looking at the question number 6 itself, you should tell me which category this question is. Category 1 or 2 or 3. 1 is read the question, alternate answers and answer it. Category 2 is please don't attempt it, come and attempt in second round. Category 3 is even reading also time waste, just put your answer. Before reading, you can't say category, I know. But looking at this length, definitely it falls in second or third, not the first. Whether by any chance, you should not assume and go, let us start reading and then see. The teacher was observing Vinod, question number 6. The teacher was observing Vinod as he was engaged in making a model. The model was a replica of the city of Mirzapur, and Vinod had built a new monorail transport system with plaster of Paris. He had created a mental map of the proposed transport network and translated it on the replica connecting the key junctions of the city. Vinod presents us an example of which of the following types of intelligence: kinetic intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, spatial intelligence, emotional intelligence. If you have read about Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, you remember it, you are confident, answer at this stage only. Otherwise, you read or you heard, but you are not sure to go in this depth. Category number 2. When you come back in the second round, your answer. Third, by some reason you did not read, you don't remember at all Vygotsky's. I'm sorry. Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory. Probably third category. In the last minute, if time permits, you'll come back and read, try. Otherwise, you just put something. That's how you have to decide in the exam hall, so that you can save your time, manage your exam at the 3 levels. All right. Because I know this, I'll try to attempt it in the first case. A, kinesthetic. Kinesthetic is mobility movement. In this, he is not talking or much pressing on the mobility movement or hands-on experience. Interpersonal. Interpersonal is your communication skills with one and other person. He is not saying a group project. He has developed leadership skills. He has interacted with his group. That such kind of description is not there in this paragraph, as I remember. So therefore, it's not the B. See, spatial intelligence, readily nobody will be able to identify. Let me tell you, 90% of the population. So I don't expect you to just reading this question and answer, you'll be able to, but just hold on. These two, I can say yes, no, they are not the answers. This, whether answer or not, I don't know. Go to D, emotional intelligence. At least now I can say emotional is your ability to understand the others' emotions, your own emotions, and manage your emotions effectively. There is no such description as such here, emotionality in the paragraph. So something has prepared a model. In preparing a model, you use your visualization, 3D, third dimension, spatial intelligence. So answer it. Even after reading 4, you are not able to identify. At least for heaven's sake, skip this answer for review. Go. Please go ahead. All right. Got this? Okay. The last question before we proceed to the next set of questions. Yes. All right. Look here. Question number 7. Which of the following are the key postulates of constructivism? Vygotsky, Piaget, constructivist. Those yesterday we were discussing. Definitely one question from this topic will be there in CTET or commonly any teacher recruitment examinations is this set of theories. If you are thorough, attempt this. Otherwise, just looking at this, because question is there, 4 alternatives are there, 3 combinations are there. So better go for second round. But suppose you have a good hold on the constructivism, nothing wrong. There is no fixed, this question should be answered in first round, second, third. It varies. For one person, he can attempt in first round. For second person, he can attempt it in second round after coming back. For another person, he doesn't have any idea about constructivism. It goes into lucky lottery category at the last minute marking category. All right. So it depends on. Suppose you have an idea by chance. You heard my lecture or you read a book or a material or any other lecture. You have an idea. You would like to attempt it. Yes, go ahead. Option 1 here given is individual learners actively build knowledge and skills. Basic, one of the basic postulates, assumptions, or the ideas constructivism begins. Construct, the learner constructs the knowledge, builds the knowledge. So therefore 1 is fine. 2, information exists within the constructs of our minds. That's what he says. You have already socio-cultural experiences. Constructing them as learning experience is the process of learning. If you have that clarity of thought, yes, 2 is readily acceptable. 3, behavior of the learner must be reinforced to ensure learning. This is what in constructivism, an assumption or a practice which is discouraged, which is not accepted. For decades and centuries, we have been believing and of course following this called behavioristic approach. SR theory, stimulus response, give appropriate reinforcement immediate after proper response. So therefore, with the idea, you can say this is not. If you have a hold, this is not the right answer. If you don't have hold, at least hold on. Let us decide later. Come to 4th. Learning is a socially mediated process. Yes, another important fundamental concept of your constructivism is cultural context. You can't segregate the society, social experiences, daily life experiences from that of the classroom learning process. So therefore, learning is a socially mediated process. Yes, acceptable. Now, anyway, just look down. First, second, we are sure. And then 1 and 2, 1 and 2 were all there. 1 and 2 were all there in A and D. This is how this kind of matching things you should decide. 1 and 2 you are sure. So where are 1 and 2 in A and in D? Then out of 3 and 4. Out of 3 and 4 definitely 4. Or if you know, yes, 1 and 4 for sure. 1 and 4 where you have here C and D again same. 1 and 4, then 2, 3. Between 2 and 3 you compare, you go to 2. Thus, you can identify the right answer. Yes, 1, 2 and 4 are the postulates, assumptions, are acceptable things, what it believes, what it based on. So this is jugglery of word also is important sometimes. If you don't understand this postulates kind of thing, all of a sudden when you see in the exam, don't worry. Question is about constructivism. He is not saying which of the following is not postulate of constructivism. So it's a part of constructivism. Thus you can go ahead and identify these things. All right. So we also have, which is different from this paper 1, same model questions for paper 2 also given. Now come, I'll show you this. Yes, see here on page 8 you have exemplar items for CTET December 2021 paper 2. Now what is the difference? Basically you could look at this. First question, just today I'll discuss only this, tomorrow I'll continue from here. Question number 1, paper 2. Noor forgot to bring her tiffin to school and asked Tanya to share her tiffin, saying, you should share your tiffin with me today because I shared my tiffin with you yesterday. According to Lawrence Kohlberg's theory of moral development, Noor's statement represents dash orientation typical at a dash stage. Which orientation? Which stage? Now see the paper 1 questions, paper 2, because this is the difference I am asking. This is the difference I was talking yesterday. You need to identify. Same, there was a question on moral development, and here is also you have a question on moral development. Kohlberg's moral development, Henge dilemma, direct question there. And here he is talking about a bit higher level. This is the fundamental difference between your paper 1 and paper 2 questions. Tomorrow we'll discuss these questions also, and then we'll start with the growth and development. When I say tomorrow, I mean in the next class. Please note that tomorrow being the Diwali, we respect and honor the culture and tradition of our country. The festivals of our country are celebrated fan and fair. One of the strengths of India is its multicolored, multicultural festivals. So in honor of Diwali, as all the India celebrates, we also won't get deprived. Don't worry, day after tomorrow we'll be we'll be continuing. So therefore, tomorrow we'll take a break and see you back day after tomorrow. But you continue to live because, yeah, I hope Sujata madam, yes, she's there already. And Sujata madam is ready. Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening and welcome, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Start. Abhi, are you there online? Abhi is not there. So what I'll do is just give me a minute, madam. What I want to do is I just want to stop recording so that this let it go continue. No problem. That's okay.
Sir, I should start the class, sir, or 8:30 I should start the class?
No. 7:45 Huda will be starting. I'll just check out.
Yeah, I'm checking my technical side, sir.
Yeah.